Hello everybody, and I guess ALLOS here, also known as SketchUp Creations, and today we'll be looking at some more Portal 2. Without further ado, let's get into it, and start with what could be one of my oldest maps, SP_ALLOS. So, this map has a bit of a personal legacy. Believe it or not, even though Mad Test Room was stated to be my first map, this map actually predates that record for a very particular reason. It's a Portal map I designed before I even had main access to Portal 2, before I even had full-time access to the game or a sufficient computer to run it on. I originally started playing it with someone else's laptop, perhaps even before I'd ever used Hammer. If you'd somehow been following me at my works for possibly a long time, you may even know where the first draft of it originated. I'm not going to spell it out for you though. Only early 2000 kids remember this. So anyways, let's get to actually talking about the map. This big door behind me, where we started, would lead to ALLOS' chamber, which, if you saw the first episode of the series, the map with ALLOS in there could have been his quote-unquote beta AI chamber. Probably not though. Anyways, there's a whole bunch of doors here. This one here's got a meeting room with a radio that automatically starts playing Exile Vilify when you enter, and it's also the preview thumbnail for the map. Also, before you ask, yes, the map was in Fulbright. I didn't know back then. Anyways, in a different iteration, this door right here had an individual lab behind it for testing chemicals. This here's a doorway down, but that door doesn't lead anywhere. In that same different iteration, this door over here, almost walked right past it, led to another meeting room with a massive hole in the floor. And this here is a storage room, with an elevator. Also, yes, that door just opened when I touched it, not when I pressed E. Anyways. Oh, so this elevator right here, this may or may not have served as a shortcut in that different iteration I keep mentioning. And this button here, inexplicably, opens a ceiling vent, breaks it open, silently even, and up in there is, if I can hit the portal surface, a companion cube. Let's take it with us. So, that always happens. Don't put your portal at the bottom of the elevator, because you're always going to fall right back through it. Okay, sorry, I was checking something there. Always gotta keep checking things to make sure nothing is going wrong. Also, if you try toggling off Fulbright, you can't see anything. So just stick with it. Just ignore it. So right over here is a freakishly large air duct. This is like the ducts that allowed SCP-173 to get around the SCP facility. And here is a table with some feathers, strangely devoid of wall paintings. Maybe you could originally find rats here. Anyways, earlier versions of this duct were possibly only accessible via a bug that was eventually patched out. And over here is the exit elevator, of course blocked off by panels. The wall here seems a bit thin. It's probably nothing. Anyways, our next logical destination is through this window. Through this window right there. Right in this test chamber. So this test has had a few iterations, some of which may or may not have involved laser platforms. It's broken, so we can just portal over to the other side. Press this back up open to pry open the door. And there's this conspicuously empty room with this raised dais in the middle. Also some nice incorrectly clipped textures on the wall over there. I had not yet learned the etiquette of texturing at this early point in the timeline. Look how ugly that is. I didn't know back then. So press this button and... Death trap! crash. Anyways, now we're in some sort of waste treatment area. Looks like they used to do regular testing down here. Yeah, maybe. Also, this water, as nasty as it looks, isn't actually deadly. Just stomp around in all you want. You're just gonna get your boots dirty. Convenient catwalk over here. You can jump this. You can jump 128 unit gaps like that. Always keep that in mind for test chamber tricks. Anyways, heading back over to the store, you can, over here in this next room, use catwalks and haphazardly placed ladders that will allow us to climb up. As Chell does not know how to climb vertical ladders. Maybe it's because of the portal gun. But then Gordon Freeman can climb a ladder while laden with a gravity gun. Also, in a long lost time, there is a mechanic in this area of pistons coated with repulsion gel that would be used to punch you over long distances. Very Machiavellian. Also got this very long and silly management wheel. Got a claw down there, hovering over a server is blocking the way. And up here, a claw holding a very frightened space core. Head on over to see him. Hello, space core. How you feeling? Very frightened. He's actually an obstacle to prevent you from walking up the rail, and if you try to jump around him, he's got an invisible wall on. I was also prone to invisible walling back then in these very early days. In the original instance of this map design, invisible walls are considered a fair game mechanic, as barbarian as that might sound. Early days. Now this control room right here, he's out there, control room. It always makes me think of the Disney Channel original movie, Minutemen. You know, the one with time travel. I think I was watching it while making this. That scary last scene with the prom and the giant vortex. Anyways, hit this button without using your hands. And it raises a server down there that was blocking the way. How convenient. I don't know who set up an office down here, but it must have been very depressing. In another version of this level, at a point, I think there was a section of wall over there that would punch out to let you alternatively traverse between that control room and this catwalk for when the other path was out. So let's walk all the way to the end here with our cube. Up here, there's a portal surface, and oh goody, we get to backtrack. Taking a shortcut. Yeah, that could have gone horribly, but it didn't. So over here, jump back in. And now we use this portal surface. Okay, over here. You be careful not to fall down again. And here's a test chamber that's in severe disrepair, or incomplete heavy maintenance. Either or. Anyways, if you watched the first episode, you may remember me mentioning that these lasers have an insta-test setting. Well, this one laser here that's turned off, it has a setting enabled. So if you press this button, you can die. So don't do that if you value living. Anyways, come over here. Shoot a portal up here, wrap back around. Just walk right into that. Hop back over here, and now here we are. Pressing our backup button. Now back behind here is another lift that may have served as a shortcut in the past. A broken monitor. A conspicuous punched-in section of wall. And the end of the map. So yeah, this was my earliest actual foray into portal level design, and it really shows. Anyways, on to the next map. This map's just a glitch exploit which can only be done under very certain circumstances.
Designed this test myself. It's a little bit difficult. You'll notice the moat area there. Very deadly, extremely dangerous. Eventually, it's not at the moment, but I'm working on it. Still working on it.
Anyways, yeah. But, nope. I just messed it up. Hold on. Okay. So then, yeah. If you glue a server model to a mirror cube and exploit how the game always makes you hold the cube so the outward lens faces away from you, you can literally use it as a hoverboard. Impractical and not possible by any means in regular gameplay, but I thought it was nifty. Raise yourselves up a little bit for more height. Also, somebody did a speedrun of this map for some reason, which I'll link in the description, just for fun.
Oh, yes. Oh, well done.
Anyways, on to the next map.
There's a breaker room under every disassembly station. Find it and cycle the power.
Oh boy, this map caused a bit of controversy in the ALLOS cinematic universe. It is his time mishap, which is basically kind of a boss battle, to outright state what it's meant to be. Now imagine if quicksaving in Portal 2 had a tangible explainable in-universe reason, and that reason is that this time mechanism right here. I sure can't English.
Something is wrong. This door should be opening.
It's a machine that basically creates a localized time loop, which is how quick saves and maybe even autosaves work. However, the machine's a bit on the fritz, and it seems it's not accustomed to serving robots. We are Peabody, by the way, I'm pretty sure.
Is that camera hooked into the lock?
Let's turn on the machine and see. Portal here, portal there. And you have to be standing directly in front of the buttons to be able to press them. Just FYI.
What's going on?
Power up initiated. Warning. Core corruption at 100%. Reactor explosion in 4 minutes.
We're in a lot of trouble. I'm sorry. I'm under a lot of pressure.
So now we must correct a grievous mistake of powering it up to full by shutting it back down. First step is to come up here and break the glass in the middle of this machine that's not at all visible. Next, we fling ourselves up there. And we press these 4 buttons.
Orange, what did you do? Oh, you are kidding me.
So we press those 4 buttons, and that area up there opens. Portal up. Press these buttons.
You did it. Now let's continue testing.
It's over. Ignore the ominous music. Yeah, so it's already done. If you know what to do, it's very easy, but, well, not a lot of people did. So I added some hints down here on these glowing green computers. Note, there are deactivation buttons on top of the device. Note, 2 more sealed off above the redacted. Another one over there. Take a shortcut while you're continuing to ignore the ominous music that played out of sequence. No, to start the device, 2 buttons must be hit, and it's cut off. So, that's that. Also, the grating around the machine, see right there, the grating right there, was later added to make it easier to press all those buttons. Anyways, returning off the machine somehow opened up these doors back here. But what happens if you let time run out?
There's a breaker room under every disassembly station. Find it and cycle the power.
You get looped back to when you first entered the room. Anyways, that's all for that video. Thanks for watching. My name is ALLOS, also known as Sketchum Creations, and I will see you in the next video.